I actually said to myself I was going to try and watch it, but I couldn't, man. It was just
What the
like
Deshaun trial? What we talking about? I forget what we're talking about right now.
the golf, the Masters,
Oh,
man. But
okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
good lord. I mean, to me, it just man,
Well,
without Tiger,
technically,
it just goes back to where it was when I didn't watch it.
so basically, like the last 5 years.
I saw Sunshine got married. I saw that.
Who's Sunshine?
Trevor Lawrence.
He got married.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did get married.
Who did
Yeah,
he get married to?
they
his
said
wife.
long time, some long time girlfriend is what they said. Apparently, he proposed to her after a game. I don't know if it was last year or year before last.
Yeah, he skipped. As a matter of fact, yeah, he skipped some. It was some kind of draft.
Was it a
or something that he ended up
I think it was a pro day thing or something.
Was it a masseuse match?
No,
Because everybody was talking.
man,
Everybody
here
was
we
talking
go.
about the pictures because
Here we go. Wait,
her dad walked her down the aisle and he had one shoe off, and everybody was like, "Why the hell don't he have a shoe on?"
Well, why didn't he?
Yeah,
I don't know.
what
Nobody ever said.
what kind of tradition is that?
I don't know.
know.
I figured
That's
he
a
must have
major
had something
happy
wrong with
ending
his
right
foot.
there, boy.
I feel like I put my headphones on.
Man,
I hope he had on some clean socks and not the ones he might have used at the masseuse.
Black sock.
you know what?
That's
Nah,
some Clemson
see, y'all
quarterbacks,
know.
though. Them Clemson
Y'all
quarterbacks
some
get that
asses,
behavior
man.
from
So
Dabo.
Yeah.
Dabo!
Welcome to the
Yeah,
Russ
I mean-
Podcast, everybody.
Oh, we going?
We on now.
yeah, we'll edit that. We'll edit that. Yeah, we on live. You see,
Man,
you see
you
the
too
thing up in
sneaky.
the corner that says live.
I mean, I paid as much attention to that as I do with Deshaun Watson with video cameras.
Man.
Hey man.
Hey,
Not the time to talk about. Not the
Here you go again, damn fucking
not the
speaker
show. Want to
spell.
talk about? Oh, it was some consensual. Was it free?
yeah, they're now saying it's consensual.
I don't even see you.
Yeah, I thought he was just on the phone.
Yo, but have y'all seen Deshaun's fiance or his girlfriend? Have y'all seen
No.
her?
I ain't seen
She
the link
is
either.
blazing. And yeah, I'm like, why the heck did
Apparently
you get
not.
with this?
Because she won't
Really?
dig in his asshole.
She got deep wrist.
Oh,
Damn.
Clearly, that's what happened.
good God Almighty!
Really?
I didn't write the lawsuits.
Oh.
I just took
Yeah,
out
boo.
what the denominator is.
So, Nelson, you
I
saying
just
she won't
feel
prairie
dirty.
dog? Huh?
I
That's
just
what it
feel
is?
dirty because of this podcast.
How you
now.
think Deshaun Watson masseuse hands feel?
They did it.
Well, not just their hands either. Apparently, one lady said he got her. Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Oh,
He hit it. Oh,
Got it
he
with the baby
got it.
batter.
that he was spraying and praying, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Are we sure she didn't hit him?
Oh,
Oh, come
Somebody hit
on,
that
man.
spot.
Nah, all right. Man, all right.
I mean, hey, the finger ain't too far from the peg. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Yo,
I'm just saying.
if he did that, I got to get rid of the jersey. If that
You
that
still
went down,
have
I
it?
got to.
You actually own one? You own a jersey?
I mean, look,
No,
I
you
got
know
to get
what?
into and CJ.
I want to know who
Floyd.
that backup is because that's who's
You know
going to
what?
I got a
start.
question. I have a question. I have a question for Harold. Did you get him to sign it? And if so, what pen did he use?
No, it is a number 4
Is that one of
jersey.
yours?
I got it while he was playing. It don't even have his name on the back because you couldn't do. You can't get NCAA jerseys with the name on the back.
Okay, so
So-
you got it before he got the well-known masseuse.
Yeah,
He was still in the cop.
I
He was still
got
with
it.
Dabo.
I
He's
got
still
it
with
when he
Dabo.
was a starting quarterback, and hopefully he
Dabo!
was just messing with his girlfriend at the time at Clemson University. That's when I got that. I got his and CJ Spillers. By the way,
Both, a bust and about to be jailbird.
first of
I
all,
gotta-
CJ Spiller is not a
One
bust.
who bust.
I enjoyed
Who's
him.
not a bust?
I enjoyed him when he
CJ
played for the
Spiller
Seahawks.
is not a bust.
Why is he not?
he wasn't a bust.
He's not a
He wasn't a
bust.
bust.
I don't think he was.
He's not a bust.
He had
He might
he
not
had
have
an
lived up to the hype everybody thought he was going to be, but I don't think he was.
he wasn't a bust, but he didn't live
Who
up to
did
the
y'all
hype.
say?
It was like it's CJ Spiller.
CJ
The
Spiller.
thing was, man, he had a
Oh.
for
Nah, he wasn't no bust.
as far as NFL seasons go, he had a pretty long career.
Yeah, he wasn't no.
Shit, so did Matt
I
Shaw.
enjoyed when he played for the Saints. As a matter of fact, he
Matt
helped
Shaw-
with
Lamar
the
Hamilton.
Cowboys.
But Matt Shaw
Matt Shaw-
wasn't a bust.
He
You
wasn't
saying
a
Matt
bust.
Schaub is a bust?
I'm
No,
saying
he
Matt
wasn't
Shaw
a
is
bust.
all right. He was all right. He wasn't what he thought he was
Oh,
gonna
but
be.
He's not a bust.
You
Well,
know.
I mean, when you ain't
Well,
got no line,
dang,
you
what do you consider the bust? What do you consider to
Yeah,
be a
Tony,
bust?
what do you consider a bust? That's I need
Man,
to know.
Anything
Tony,
dealing
bro,
with
before
we get
anything
into
dealing
this-
with Deshaun Watson and a masseuse is a bust.
No, you know he got out of being
He gonna
muted,
bust.
which was smart, by the way. He got out of being muted, smart ass.
Because I was gonna get him.
I had to come from the hip on that one. I was like, wait a minute. I was looking at Aaron. I was watching Aaron. His profile went from this to this. I'm like, yep, he's looking for that play.
But that's when you know it's coming.
I'm like, yep, he doing it.
Aaron over there like it's a
Oh,
gun
yeah.
show and shit.
So I want to know how do you guys feel about the NBA? And like, to me, I feel like over the past 10 years, well, when did LeBron go to Miami? Was that 2010, 2009?
Yes, because I was in the desert when he did.
Yeah.
Okay, so when LeBron went to Miami,
man,
about the
he
time
hopped
LeBron
so much,
went to
I can't
Miami,
keep up
I
with
feel
it.
like the
I
NBA
was-
just got
I couldn't-
solved.
Of course.
For me, when Kobe retired, that was the end of my version of the NBA, and it was already getting soft then. He just wasn't. But
I mean, it was soft. But
I
it was
can't
soft before
stand
it.
Kobe retired. Like,
no, I know that. I mean, it's just he was the reason I kept watching, and then after
I mean,
he retired, it was like
Kobe
oh my
called his
God.
own teammates soft. Like,
Damn
Yeah.
sure did.
going to
Couple
practice, y'all
times.
soft.
To me,
yeah.
I still remember, in my opinion, I'm not going to say it went soft during the Kobe era because Kobe was ruthless. And,
He
to me,
was.
I mean,
yeah, he
LeBron
was.
already a crybaby.
The league was going
but
this
do
way.
y'all remember those series the Lakers would have versus Sacramento? I mean, I really enjoyed those because they were competitive and
Oh, you
And
mean
those
That's
were-
an anomaly. That's an anomaly, though.
they were
Yeah.
going for the throat.
you mean in
Well-
like 2003 when
Right.
when the refs cheated
that was when
Sacramento?
That was when Doug Christie used to try to put them. That was
Yeah,
when Doug
right.
Christie used to try to.
And
Yeah.
and his wife.
And
Christie and
because
his
the wife
wife.
put the power on him.
Well,
Oh,
I think Doug Christie's wife is one of the only basketball wives that probably really got hands.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I wouldn't doubt it one bit myself. Like she
Anytime
look like
you
she got
see
a
him,
hard
every
ass
time-
jaw too.
Look, every time he score a point, he got to tell her he love her. Yeah, she can fight.
Yeah.
She can, yep, she can fight.
Yeah, don't they get married like once a year, right? Every year
Yes,
they get married again.
and every time he scored a point, he had to do some hand signal.
Yeah,
She
I
was
remember
ridiculous.
that.
I was like, yeah, she
Look,
whooping his ass when she
They
get home.
make the joke that she went with him everywhere. Is that the?
Yes, she did.
She
That wasn't a
did.
joke. That was true.
Yeah, she
That-
did.
That was real shit.
There was something on the satire site about if this is the one I'm thinking of that she while she may have traveled with him, it was on like I can't remember the name of the site, but it was satire saying that she'd be in the locker room with them and
Nah,
all
she
kinds
don't.
of stuff. But I wonder if that's the chick I'm thinking of.
She wasn't in the locker room, but
she
she
must-
went with the team wherever they went.
Yeah, she
Yo,
was.
what? She
To make
must
sure
be.
he didn't cheat or something like that.
These
Yeah.
days, that's called emotional abuse and shit. But back then, that was just a concerned spouse.
Hell, I
And
wouldn't
then
cheat
when
on
Christie-
her. I wouldn't cheat on her either.
Whenever Doug Christie fought on the
she-
court,
she
that
the
was his
same
pent
height
up
as
frustration
him.
coming out.
Her and Christy the same height. I wouldn't cheat on her either. All right, baby.
Man,
And
But
she
was
So
but
what
to,
year?
but to the
Around what year
original
do y'all
question,
think?
What?
I was gonna
year
say,
was
around
wrong?
what
Yeah.
year? What time frame?
I'm
Like, it
gonna
don't
say
gotta be that
04.
year.
About 2010.
I-
after about to
I
me
think
after
it was before
2010,
2010.
it just
I'm
I
going with
think I'm
AC and
before
say
then.
04. I'm gonna say
I'm
04,
going
05.
with 04. I'm going 04.
I was gonna go
05. It
around
started going
05
downhill.
to 0. I was gonna say 05, 05,
I'll say
07 time
I'll say
frame.
2010. That's when I kind of started noticing.
Well, okay, why are y'all choosing those years? I'm trying to understand. Like, what about those years y'all saying? All right, this
Well,
is.
I felt
I
like
remember in the
ushering
90s.
in
Think about the
LeBron.
90s.
Oh,
Think
go
about the
ahead.
90s.
Go ahead, CJ.
So in the
The
90s,
90s was
you know, we all know what the 90s was, right? That's probably
Yeah,
the
No
yeah.
greatest era.
layups.
the greatest
No
era of
layup.
basketball ever, in my opinion, and it was
You
physical.
had to dunk the
It wasn't.
ball.
It wasn't
Yeah.
quite that. It wasn't quite the '80s, which was a little more WWE, I guess, because them cats was like
It wasn't, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
they
right.
was
You
fighting.
weren't around,
They was fighting,
Yeah.
you know.
bro.
Yeah.
You think Ron Artest was a fool?
No,
Nah,
that's what I'm
Bill
saying.
Laimbeer used
I,
to-
you know.
Bill Laimbeer used to
gang
body
niggas
slam
up.
folk. Hey,
Look,
language.
So you,
Hey,
Oh.
Kurt Ramble's neck still ain't recovered from that clothesline.
Bro, right?
I thought the man was dead. I watched that shit in real time. I like, man, Kurt Ramble's dead.
I put it like this: you put Ron Artest in the '80s, he don't fight nobody.
No.
He ain't bodying nobody. He
Nah,
getting
hey,
drugged.
No, you know what? I think Ron Artest would do good in the '80s. I think
Who he gonna
No.
body?
I
I
think
don't think so.
I think he would do. I think he would be
Anybody
okay
else
in
name
the 80s.
somebody on the
Mahorn
Pistons.
and Oakland,
Name somebody on the
Mahorn and
Pistons.
Oakland would have took him out.
Shit,
Well.
Joe Dumars would have took his ass out.
Well,
Hey,
the,
man.
the Pistons would have drafted him. So I mean, that would.
Yeah.
That is a true
We're
statement.
going to get
Point
Ron
taken.
Artest.
That's a true statement.
But
No,
shit,
I
the
know
Celtics,
I know
I
the
y'all
know
Celtics
blaming.
the same way.
I know y'all blaming
Yeah.
LeBron for the softness of the league, but
Nah,
I mean,
I ain't
LeBron came into the league with 03, 04, and you know, I think you know the 90s was the era where you know it was great basketball. It was physical, but it wasn't you know the wrestling that the 80s had. And then you know like I said, that's why I think it transitioned, and like you know 2005, 2006, you know that 05 to 07 range is when I think you know it became a more kindly, gentler NBA. You know, and I think that had more to do with you know they wanted cats to you know they wanted to see high scores. They wanted you know
They want money.
They
They
wanted-
wanted they
exactly.
money.
the fan they
exactly.
felt like the fans wanted to see points put up on the board.
The
And
same way the
you know,
NFL started focusing on offense.
So
Yeah.
do
That's
you
what
think
they
it's
have in
working
the
though?
NBA.
So do you think it's
No.
working?
yeah, I think
Nah.
it's worked. I think it's worked.
Nah.
Think about it, bro. It has worked. Like the NBA is still you know
I mean, I don't think it has because the
No.
NBA has money wise. The NBA has neither passed the NFL or Major League Baseball.
I agree.
well I don't know
And
if it's
then-
ever I don't know if it I don't think that has anything to do with the
Yeah, I don't think
style
you'll
of
bet
play.
NFL.
No, I think it was close for a while because if
Yeah.
you remember during the late '80s, the NFL was having some problems, and the NBA was voted the
Yeah.
#1 sports league in America during that time. I think
Yeah, it was
now,
David Stern made money. Silver want to go global, and by going global with that globalized vision, you're softening up the game. You're hiking the
You
points up. You know, it's a money grab. But for us who grew up watching '90s basketball and '80s basketball when Kareem used to whoop folk ass on the court, and then when we got there and
70s.
played, you know what I'm saying? '70s, take all of that. What we grew up with, and this shit they showing now, it's night and day. I'm not interested really in today's NBA.
Not even.
Like when
Could-
I don't really care.
'Cause if you-
I mean, I'm a Lakers fan.
If you
but
look at it,
I-
if you look at basketball today, the flopping and all these little
I
whining
hate
calls
that. I hate that.
would have
The trouble
never
is-
flown in the early
Man,
days,
Trent-
in the '80s and '90s.
No.
They own teammates would have called them out. Hey, cut that shit out. What are you doing?
Get him
Man
out
up
the
and play. The coaches would have put him on the bench.
No, you know, so when you think about that, like, because you know, there's always the conversation about Hall of Fame, and I know LeBron's going to be a Hall of Famer just because his name's LeBron, and you know, a
You
couple
already
other
know that.
cats.
He was gonna be
But
Hall of Famer
I mean,
before
but
he
so
got drafted.
if you really
He was
think
already in the Hall of
about
Fame when he
it,
got drafted.
if you really think about it, if LeBron played in the '90s or the '80s, is he
He
a Hall
never
of
played a
Famer?
full season.
Like I know, like
Hey,
to,
beat
so,
his big ass.
like to me, in this era of basketball, Carmelo and D Wade are probably the only two, and Chris Paul are the only three that I feel like, okay, yeah, these guys should be Hall of Famers. Like if I had the voting rights, I probably wouldn't vote LeBron into the Hall of Fame just because, like, what I think it was like 2 months ago where he flopped and nobody touched him. Like he just,
Yep.
Well, I think that's a look. I'm not a LeBron fan. We all know this, but I think that's a bit of a stretch, Aaron. And I'm saying that only because you're right. He does a lot of stuff on the court that I can't stand, which the flopping and all that. But
flopping is awful.
you can't deny, you know, his basketball accolades. It's like he's a Hall of Famer no matter what. And I also made it in the 90s. He could have made it. He wouldn't have played a full season like Tony said. He wouldn't have played a full season like Tony said.
He played a fourth of the season.
But a dude that big, strong, and fast, bro, he could play in any era. It doesn't matter when it was.
And what happened when he get bodied by Lambeer or McHale or Parrish or Oakley one time?
Do y'all think
what's his name?
No, he's not. He's not getting up.
So I got a question. Do y'all think money has possibly ruined it? And what I'm seeing is because the one good thing that we had during the 80s and 90s, and I'm not just talking, we had
like
good
I understand
rivalries.
the salary, like having a salary cap makes sense.
Yeah,
for competition, for competition, having for fair competition, having a salary cap makes complete sense.
Right, and to me,
I didn't hear your whole question though.
So my main thing is that number one, the money issue, and then number two, the rivalries. We don't have any good rivalries right now. During the 90s, even with the Bulls, you had rivalries with the Bulls and the Pistons. You had rivalries with, Bulls and Portland, or Bulls and the Heat, and even
New York,
and the Knicks, and the Bulls and the Knicks was a fight. I mean, with Xavier McDaniel
and everybody,
the Pacers and everybody. Hell yeah!
Now everyone wants to be nice, man.
Everybody's
That's what
friends,
I don't
bro.
like.
Everybody's buddy.
Yeah, and to me, it's like, hey, we made our money. We made our money, man. So why I'm gonna be mad with you or whatever? We both getting paid. So why I'm be mad with him? This is why I do like the Greek Freak, and he's like, hey man, look, I ain't shaking hands with no one and all that, and how KG was Kevin Garnett. I mean, those
but and even if you go to like the NFL with your quarterback, Chris, when he lost in that Super Bowl, and they was like, oh, he didn't want to shake nobody's hand. I don't want to fucking shake nobody's hands either. I just lost the biggest game of my life.
Right.
I don't want to shake your hand. I'm trying to get back.
I don't. That's the thing, man.
Hey, what you about to say?
The thing with me is the reason I can't get behind the NBA now. Like I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and the Bulls. Jordan versus Magic. Bird versus Magic. Even the Hawks were good back then. Mm-hmm. Their biggest things was we friends off the court, but on the court, I don't like you.
Right.
Period.
Right.
But it's been many a times that Jordan has, went against Bird and they cool. It's been many a times he don't win in there and they tried to fight each other on the court.
Yeah.
And Charles Barkley, I think, said it best. Because he don't like how this NBA turned out. He said, when I played, I didn't look at Magic and say, hey, let's get on the same team. I wanted to beat him on the court to show I was better than him.
Right.
But the stars today be like, shit, hey, you struggling, I'm struggling. Let's team up. And then we get one more person.
Yeah.
Come on now. That's
agreed.
That's pussy.
It's trash, but at the same time, you got to consider the management of some of these teams, and then you understand why some of these boys go ahead and team up because some of these C-suite people don't know what the hell they doing.
A lot of them didn't know what the fuck they were doing in the 80s. They was fresh to the league.
Yeah,
but you had good coaches. At least you had a coach that could win.
I think in the 80s and 90s, you had coaches that said, "Hey, I'm the coach. This is my team. Whatever I want is whatever's gonna go." And while I like that, I kind of hate it because that's Rick Carlisle's mentality, and the Mavericks can't get over the hump. Because of that,
because they're not buying into it.
It's this new generation. You got to coddle to people's feelings now, and it's no more of that hierarchy. That hey, look, I'm the coach, and look, I'm the commander, and you guys are going to implement my game plan. Now you do have people like LeBron that says, hey, look, we need to do this, and this how the offense needs to flow, and all this other kind of stuff. And to be quite honest with you, if I'm raising a kid right now. And in my house, just like we all got kids, we all know that, hey, look, within my house, here are the rules. But how in the world do I raise my kid to be like, hey, look, you are going to respect that coach? And then he's around other kids that's telling the coach how to run plays. And it's just like.
And that's you gotta blame the players. It's like my kid with her fencing. They got a coach. They got two coaches. You know what I tell her? Listen to what the coach said. I don't care what
Exactly.
your friends on the team say. I don't care what none of them say. I don't care what these other people say. If your coach tell you to do something, you better do it.
Right.
And that's how all the other parents are. And it's like you got to tell them now, because when they get to superstardom, they ain't gonna want to hear all that. It's gonna be about me.
Oh, but that's what happened.
But it's not a lot
That's
of
what
parents
happened.
like you though, Tony.
A
A lot of these parents kissing the kids' asses because they think they're gonna get to the league.
Nah, damn that.
All these entitled ass kids, all these AAU ass, spoiled ass kids.
But you know what? When they the AAU kids come and play street ball, they get their ass handled.
Oh yeah,
as they should.
We don't play them games.
They should.
It was a lot of AAU kids came on Simpson Road.
Because AAU they play with their friends, so they like, oh come on, let's go. But see,
nah, bro,
when
you don't call fouls.
When we at Lions Club Park playing ball, it ain't no AAU.
Or go out to the Rucker. You know that every player.
We was at Grove Park back in the day. We was at Grove Park back in the day. When the refs out there, no blood, no foul. I don't see no marks. I ain't hear no sound. You better keep playing.
Let me ask y'all a question. When is in the last finals? When the last time that y'all seen that the players are really like into it? You know, hey, look,
It's been some years.
The last time is whenever LeBron was at Cleveland and they went against Golden State and they were kind of depleted. Golden State had a lot of injuries, but I remember that was the one time I seen LeBron talking smack to Steph Curry and that sort of thing. But I mean, again, those are too far and in between. I haven't seen any. I know y'all gonna pick up.
I haven't seen that since the Mavs won. No, I take that back. When San Antonio beat LeBron, they beat that Miami team. That was the last time I seen that.
Yeah, that was the last time.
That San Antonio squad was, it was just a unicorn because they were the team. They played 100% teamwork. You talking about
they had that hot ass
game?
Them. They did have that hot ass game. That hot ass game with LeBron.
How many times you see them boys on San Antonio be like, man, fuck my stats. Who the hot man?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, how many times they do that?
They still do that now, though.
They don't have the talent that they used to have.
That's coaching, bro. That's Greg.
Yeah, that's 100% coaching.
That's Greg Popovich.
Yeah,
and that's what happens when you buy into what your coach say.
How does the NBA get back to that?
Well, you can, but I told y'all people have to retire. People have to retire. A certain group of people have to retire.
Like who? Who would you say needs to leave right now?
LeBron would have to leave for that to happen.
I agree. Who else?
PG-13. Harden would have to leave for that to happen. Kyrie would have to leave for that to happen.
Why Paul George though? Why Paul George?
Because he's a bum.
That's
just a shot at him. That's just a hate for him skipping over the Mavericks.
How you feel?
That's all that is. I'm still mad Paul George didn't come to the Mavericks when he was in his prime leaving Indiana. So
what about KD? What about KD? Does KD have to leave?
KD would have to go.
KD would have to go.
Yeah.
Look, the
KD
thing
can't back up his own words.
The thing that you would
or his own account
to come back to start us back on the right path. I need him to stay in college more than a year.
Yeah.
I agree. The NBA ain't the problem. The problem is in the college, high school, the AAU. Your problem start there.
I agree.
If you ain't gonna fix the pipeline.
I don't care if you NBA ready. I know, when all these kids start going back to Moses Malone, when they start jumping from high school to the NBA, that's when it all started. Like, oh shit, my kid might be ready now. Why he got to go to college? But then all of a sudden you say, okay, now we got to go to college.
I mean, but Moses Malone.
Well, LeBron was like the only one that was ready.
I know, but that I'm trying to say, once you start with that, then everybody else is looking at their kid.
Well, no,
like,
because KG,
my kid is ready.
was ready.
I know, but if you saying that's one in the area. That's 1 out of 50. But if you got that one kid out of 50 that's ready, but then you got 20 more coming in, you just watered down the fucking league.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a problem in the
league.
See
what I'm saying?
You know what I think may need to happen? Y'all remember before Bird and Magic came, the NBA was like crap. And I think and I think sadly enough, it may have to go back to that. It may have the league may have to blow up a little bit. And then, that's only because if they're going global, if their whole main thing is to have a global thing, number one, that's going to be tough competing against soccer. Soccer is the number one sport, and then rugby. And, that's what I would say.
Of course. You can't compete on a global scale when you having trouble in your own country.
Well, I just like the NFL
nothing to ever be able to compete with soccer. I mean,
oh no.
I believe all of us have lived outside of this country a time or two.
No.
So nothing.
AC only goes where the hibernation lets him.
Nothing will ever compete with soccer.
There he go.
Yeah, I agree. I just don't see how you go global, and I don't understand. I don't know. Sometimes you can get too big.
What's the old saying? You got to take a step back. Think about it. You got to take a step back and get 2 steps forward.
But half
they
of the
shit trying to backwards. They trying to reverse.
Well, but they doing it, but you watering the whole product down, and it's a level of acceptance that they all are willing to take. The NFL and the NBA, they all willing to like water this shit down.
I can tell you why the NBA. Well, I can tell you why basketball in general is watered down, because there's less emphasis placed on skill, and when I tell you what I mean by that. So
no, I agree with
my
that.
My daughter plays AAU basketball, right? And I see it every weekend at these tournaments we go to, right? If you go to AAU basketball, what you'll see nothing but kids. The kids that are bigger, stronger, faster tend to excel at AAU basketball, and it's not because they're necessarily skillful. It's because they're bigger, stronger, faster, right? So what happens when you get at a higher level like college or whatnot, when all things are equal, right? Eventually you have to add some skill to that, right?
Even high school, because think about.
That's what you're right, Aaron. Even high school, and that's what the problem is. These kids get so used to relying on just their God-given athleticism and size, they develop no skill.
That's why the European players take it over the NBA.
It is. And so my daughter's only 11 years old. She's only 11 years old. And she plays on a 13U team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you come to the games, bro, these teams, they press out the gate, right? They press the whole time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So most of the game consists of, steals and layups the whole game, right? Which it doesn't require any skill necessarily, right? All it really requires is the kids that are bigger, stronger, faster to overwhelm the other kids, and then they just get a layup on the other end.
Are they running offensive?
You know what?
You do. So they have press breaks and things like that, right? The other teams do, and that's what they do. They try to run press breaks, but ultimately, and I'll tell you from what I have seen, and this is watching not just my girls. This is even watching boys. Typically, the team that is bigger, stronger, faster is the team that's winning. It ain't necessarily the team that's got the most skill, right? It ain't them. It's the bigger, stronger, faster teams, and it's literally because they press, then they get out to a big lead, and then they just cruise after that. That's what they do.
But but that has to do a lot to do with coaching, because I think I also feel like one of the biggest problems with basketball is you got people trying to teach basketball that don't know anything about basketball.
Yep.
You ain't never played basketball in your life as far as any type of higher level, whether it's high school, college, D League, G League, or NBA. You ain't never played that, but you come in here and say, well, you know what, I want to be a basketball coach. And so you go pay the money and you get you an AAU team, but you yourself ain't never even played basketball. You ain't never even been good at basketball.
Yeah,
AAU is a business, man. It's a business.
Of course,
so they don't give a shit about having no
skills. And they tax, dog. They tax just to get into these tournaments at the games. So the first tournament they had, we all went. I took my wife and all my kids. We all went to the first tournament like a month or two ago, right? Bruh, for the price it cost us to get into the game, I could have got 2 good seats at a damn Wizards game. Bruh, they're charging like $15 a person to walk in the door, bruh.
You know what's crazy? Kobe even said the problem with basketball is an AAU. Kobe even acknowledged that.
Who was it? Was it the Perkins? Was it Kendrick Perkins had a video that, like a month ago where he was talking about AAU basketball.
Man, they treat them shit like franchises, bro. If you
know,
get the right
played-
squad, the people
I
who coaching try
I
to
played
get in
against him
somewhere
in
else
high
for some
school.
money.
You played against
Who?
who?
Kendrick Perkins.
What? Wait, were you sitting the bench watching him while he was on the floor, or
No,
were
I
you
ain't-
actually playing
I
against
ain't
him?
never rode the bench, son.
Yeah.
I ain't,
Y'all
I ain't
remember,
said I'm Jordan, but I ain't never rode the bench.
Y'all remember Cameron? Y'all remember Cameron Dollar used to play for UCLA?
Yeah.
I used to bust his ass in the gym. I used to bust his ass.
Okay. Well, I think
No, it was him because his
And
his
not
dad
in
was the
Deshaun
coach.
Watson's way either.
Not in the Deshaun Watson way. No.
Dabu.
Context.
Nah, but his dad.
Boys, they
His
used
dad
to
was
leave
the
him
coach.
bloody.
His dad was the coach. His older brother was on the
man.
squad. Now he was solid, but nah. When we took him
my
out the
God.
gym and when he couldn't use his little moves that him and his brother knew off the top of their head, oh man, he was soft. He couldn't do it.
You know, the player that I've seen, I didn't play against him, but my high school did, was Ray Allen. And I will tell you, Ray Allen's game in high school was nothing like it was during his last years in the NBA. I mean,
Ray Allen was
his
Ray Allen was a
career.
good athlete. Ray Allen was
He
out
was-
there yamming on folks.
He was serious his entire career.
Yeah, Ray Allen, you would never think, you know, we always think of Ray Allen being one of the greatest shooters. In high school, he could shoot. But man, his game was nothing like that. I mean, he was just,
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Yeah,
His
exactly.
name correct.
Even early in his career. Early in his
Shaq was
career.
clumsy
same way.
and shit.
Yeah, like
Shaq still
in
is
Minnesota,
clumsy.
we do what Ray
Well,
Allen
yeah,
was.
but he could crush some shit though.
Yeah,
Hey man,
so,
what's the next topic, man? We I think we beat that dead horse. That dead
So-
horse well enough.
so one
Speaking
thing
of
I want.
beating,
But all right, anyway, stop it. So anyway, what I want to talk about. So I know the majority of y'all not wrestling fans, but I am. But history was made at WrestleMania this past weekend. You had the first all-black woman main event ever with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Which, if you look at the match, very
I
good
watched
match.
that match. It was
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, and Sasha Banks is the cousin of Snoop Dogg. If you guys didn't know, she
I don't even
was
know who that
also.
is.
You know, she was also on The Mandalorian. If you remember that episode of The Mandalorian, and she was the Jedi. She was the female Jedi up there with the long things coming out of her.
Yeah, that ain't right. No, that's wrong.
That's not
wrong
right.
there.
That's not right, dude.
That's not right. She
She
was
was
actually
in The Mandalorian. She was a
That's
She was
not
in
Jedi.
The Mandalorian, but she was a
She was a Mandalorian.
My bad. She was
You talking
my bad. I was thinking about the other. Yeah, you're right. My
Yeah,
fault.
Look,
my
man.
fault.
Rosario
fault.
Dawson.
Yeah,
my
Rosario
fault.
Dawson was the Jedi. You
My
look,
fault.
But
My
she,
man,
fault.
I think it was an
Rosario
actual
Dawson,
Mandalorian.
but she was going to be that anyway because she's the voice of that in the cartoon. I don't how did you
Yeah.
mix that up, Carol?
because he didn't have his massage yet.
How did you mix that
Thank
up, Harold? How did you mix that up, Harold?
He was all right. He was all right.
He was all right.
That's
Say,
true.
say, and then the Jedi with the thing coming out of here.
Anywho,
But to Harold's point, I watched that match and it was a pretty good. It was a pretty entertaining match. I think her hair, that chick hair, that was loud. Like when she slapped her with her hair. Yeah, that
Did you
was.
see the welt? Did you see the welt on her? Oh my god!
Here's the question though: was that 100% human hair, or was that 100%?
Man.
Or was it?
That was a lace
Or was that
front.
synthetic?
So my question, y'all, is this. Y'all do know wrestling period has had its issues.
It's fake.
With people we know, but the
Oh,
it's not fake. It's scripted.
Right,
But
and,
because
and,
it's
and
fake,
like
scripted, all the
and
same.
see what I grew up watching the WWF and I enjoyed it, but what I don't understand is
UWF
if it's
homeboy.
scripted.
Why is this a
are we
first?
just now having black
Exactly.
champions? If it's scripted?
Exactly.
Technically, Tony Atlas was one of the
Well,
first,
I mean,
and Rocky
Rocky
Maivia,
Johnson. Yeah,
Rocky Johnson.
I
Way
mean,
back.
The answer
Bruno
to your question,
Sammartino
Aaron,
was
is
actually Italian.
because
They kept
white
saying he was
folks
white.
still run the company.
Right,
That's not
and
your
it
question.
was and
White
it was
folks still run the
territorial.
company.
you never had any blacks head of the territories within
What no
wrestling
black
number
promoters?
one. And yeah, hardly no black promoters. And so now, you know, what has happened, you know, growing up in the South, and you know how it was, man. The South is
It's
either
wrestling.
What do you mean
It's
was?
wrestling.
no. What I was about to say is that you had World Class, which is the Texas area at the
Yeah.
old Sportatorium, I think, with the Von
Yeah.
Erichs and that sort of thing.
Farouk and
And
all them.
We
Right,
had
right,
Mid-South.
right.
We had Mid-South in Louisiana. It was
Mid-South.
Mid-South.
Yeah,
We had
Mid-South.
we had WCW here.
NWA. It was NWA, and then it went over to WCW. You had
Right.
you know Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes and that sort of thing.
What's the name? What Jim Cornette had the Memphis area? What was it?
Yeah, it was
Yeah. And so a lot of it was relatable due to the area we were in. But now wrestling is global, and so I think now what they're getting the picture of is that you know you have to have more diversity, more money makers. I think The Rock. Period.
2020, 2021 to figure that shit out.
No, I agree. I'm not. No argument there.
It's forced. It was forced.
I think
Yeah.
The Rock, in my opinion, I think you have to give a lot of credit because of what he's done in Hollywood. I mean, he is the number one action star, period. That started off as a wrestler, and now he's a billionaire moving weight in Hollywood. And I think
And
now,
his word is
Don't say it
got
like that.
much
Well,
push.
I feel like a lot of those matches he lost to Stone Cold, he probably shouldn't have lost. You know.
oh yeah,
We can kind of wonder why that happened.
Well,
I mean, I don't think it has anything to do with Stone Cold. You know, I think it's
I don't know. I wouldn't say Stone Cold at all. That ain't what I'm alluding to.
I think he's
I mean,
going a little
you know,
higher, like with
there's-
Vince McMahon or something. You know.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, but look how and Bret Hart is he's Canadian. Do you consider that white? Look how he did him. So yeah.
True. Yeah,
He's Canadian.
Yeah,
He's
true.
Canadian.
That's true. That is true. That is true.
Canadian white and American white ain't the same thing. Take it how you want to. I dare you to circle a line that's stable.
But I guess the main thing is now with WWE, you do have a black champ. So they have two different divisions. You
Is
could say
Bobby
Raw and
Lashley?
SmackDown.
Did he retain?
Yeah, he
I
did
watch all
retain.
of WrestleMania. Did he retain?
Wait, Bobby Lashley
he did
back?
retain. Yeah, he is
Bobby
back.
Lashley's back.
Bobby
I saw him
Lashley
in
is
the
back.
commercial the other day. I
Yeah,
thought
he-
he quit.
He's
I saw
champ.
he got it. I saw he got his ass beat in UFC. So
Yeah,
he
so
did get- yeah, that
they
was-
they now have a black world heavyweight champion. They have a black intercontinental champion. They have a black women's champion.
and the tag team champions are Nigerian, right?
No,
Nigerian?
no. They lost to what's the guy's name? They got this big 8 foot tall black dude named Osmos or something like that. Man, he's
Nigerian.
I thought you were talking about the New Day. That's what I thought you were talking about.
Man, I don't know none of these people y'all talking about. So.
none.
But
And we're talking
anyway,
about Godzilla versus Kong
Hey,
because this is more interesting than this.
anyway, the
Hey,
main
I
thing
found out
is that
that too.
wrestling.
Oh, word? Did you like it?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, we hijacked
I
hijacking
did.
this.
Hey, what's
Anyway,
the next topic?
I did.
No, I mean I get it though. Wrestling. This is something that Vince McMahon and all those guys up there should have been doing. Yeah.
Agreed.
But your boy
But
But hey, you know what can you say? Because they have
you're
the
right.
dude that they have Freddie Prinze Jr. doing their
actor?
script. So yeah, he
Is
does.
he a
Yeah,
wrestler?
he's a writer.
Yeah, he's a writer.
Are you
Mhm.
serious?
Yes.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can't
I
tell.
I just found that out about a month
You
ago.
can't
I
tell.
stopped watching wrestling a long time ago. The last time
I can't even say the
watched
last
wrestling,
match.
I want to say Hulk and somebody had teamed up against Zeus and somebody. That's the last wrestling match. I
Gosh,
ever-
that was
Indeed.
like
Let
8
me.
years
You
old.
want to know when I
That's when I found out it was fake. That's when I found out it was fake, and I didn't want to watch
Still been in
it.
diapers.
Probably
Man,
was.
all right, look at it like
I
this.
stopped.
We go to the movies all the time. It's scripted, but
you
still
don't-
you.
But
I mean,
it's
but
not.
the,
it's a good
the,
script.
the wrestlers
good
are
script.
athletes. They're legit athletes. I mean, just to see the physical skill.
I don't
To
think
me,
nobody's
it's-
denying that.
Well,
Nobody's
I mean,
denying that.
Ain't nobody
nobody's
saying that part.
denying that. It's just
So when they be
We
hitting
just mad
people with
about the
chairs,
overt
somebody's
scripted.
actually getting hit with a chair.
yeah,
He's
you
getting
can't
hit with a
tell.
chair.
Well, you can get hit with a chair and it
I'm
not
gonna tell
hurt.
you
You
what
just
they
got to
do.
hit him at the right
Yeah,
angle.
there's no way for that to not hurt. I'm just throwing it out.
Yeah, it is. I've been hit with it a lot of times.
Well, I didn't know if it was a real chair. Now, like I said, I stopped. Once I found out it was fake, I stopped watching.
Bruh,
The tables
hey,
are
Harold,
cut at
Marine
a
Corps,
certain
baby.
point, and to make sure.
We do this shit for fun. Wait, let me ask y'all Air Force guys. Where all my Air Force people?
Yeah,
I got a question. Y'all ever play this game called Death Ball?
What?
I don't know.
What is the game? We might call it something else.
Tell me.
You take two 50 cubes, right? Put them on each end of the basketball court. Then you take 2 of those 5-gallon shit cans and put them on top of that. Then you get one of them little basketballs, little handheld basketball, and it's 5-on-5. You take 2 steps and then you got to pass it. If you still have that ball after 2 steps, you get tackled.
No. No.
Saying that.
It's full contact, mate. Hey, full contact. It's full contact.
That's why you in the Marines, man. Y'all be doing that dumb shit like that, man.
Man, we used to do that at Chow. We used to do that at Chow, dude.
See,
Tony,
that's why the Marines are the Marines.
Tony got 100% disability right now because of that.
Hey, man, I did see a dude get run into the side of a building. That shit did look like it hurt, but he got right back up.
Man.
Hey, man, I'm telling you, we got some wild stories about the stupid shit we did. Y'all ever play chess, right?
Play chess?
Where you got to walk around like this, and if you open, you just...
open chess. Yeah.
We used to play that shit 24 hours in the barracks. Everybody was in it.
Why y'all always be doing dumb shit like that, man?
Y'all was grown doing
Make
that
a
shit.
man out of you, Harold. Make a man out of you.
Man, let me tell you something. I was sitting down
Unlike
watching. I was
Deshaun.
on duty. I was sitting down watching TV, and next thing I know, a hand came over my shoulder and caught me in my sternum. Oh, I thought I was dead. That shit hurt so bad. I was like, woohoo.
All right, man.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So
what's the next topic, man?
So let's talk about
Dumb
Justin
shit we do.
Fields. Let's talk about Justin Fields. Let's talk about Justin Fields. So,
how you get disrespected?
So
Yeah.
I think he deserves his disrespect. So here's why.
How?
Name me. Hold on.
Whoa,
Okay.
hold on,
Let me ask this question. Let me ask this question. Name me one good Ohio State quarterback in the last 10 seasons.
What
Do we count Joe? Do we count
That ain't
Joe?
the disrespect we talking
Do we count
about,
Joe
Harold.
Burrow? Do we count Joe Burrow?
What disrespect
We count
are you
Joe
talking
Burrow?
about? Because the
Well,
disrespect
okay,
I've
I'm not-
seen
I'm
them
not
saying
counting.
is
I'm not
they're
counting.
calling him
No.
a trouble
I
player.
was asking you was an Ohio State quarterback.
Wait, Aaron. Do you count Joe Burrow?
I'm not counting that. I'm not counting
Then
Joe
you
Burrow.
cannot count Justin Field because he came from Georgia.
Ha.
If you do not count Joe Burrow, you cannot go against Justin Field,
That's a
homeboy.
legit
Well,
point.
all right. So here's the thing. What I will say is this: the reason why also one season in that's kind of difficult. I'm not going to make any judgment on someone that's only played one season.
Okay, let me
talking
let me
about Joe
jump in
Burrow,
right
right?
here.
Right.
Mahomes
Wait,
was
wait.
one season at Texas Tech.
Let me jump in right
No.
here.
I'm talking about one season in the pros. Is what I'm saying. Joe Burrow's only had one
Yeah,
season
Joe Burrow.
thus far.
He's
Joe
still
Burrow was on
good.
the way for Rookie of the Year before he got
Yeah,
hurt.
he was.
No, but what I'm saying, all right, what I'm saying is,
You're
whenever I
crazy,
ask
man.
this question,
You're
rookie
the
of the year does not matter to me. If we're going to look 5 years
How
and
does
go,
rookie of the year? How does
Not matter.
How does that not
all
matter?
right, so are you going to say? So we all say that Joe Burrow right now is guaranteed to have a good, successful career.
I think
Based
he
on
will.
rookie, there have been plenty of rookie of the years before that.
I think he's got the talent. I think what he learned when he got to LSU, I think he can do it. I think he would have done it if the Bengals had more people around him and could protect some damn body.
But again, we don't know. That's my whole thing. We don't know what I'm
But
talking
he's
about.
still a good quarterback.
I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying he's not.
But we're saying if you're not counting him as an Ohio State quarterback, which was the original point, you can't count Fields because Fields did come from Georgia.
Born and raised, homeboy. Born and raised.
I forgot about that. I forgot he played in Georgia first.
Let me negate his comment, right? Well, first and foremost, you can't say, well, because he's from this program, he's gonna suck, right? Because at some point, somebody's gonna break the mold on that, right? I mean,
correct.
You can
They
say
said
that
the same thing about Oregon
Baker Mayfield
quarterbacks.
already did that. So
Here's the thing, though. Like the thing I think is disrespectful is the fact that they're saying. I mean, I think here's my opinion. I think the only surefire quarterback that is a no questions asked is Sunshine, right? He's the only one that's for sure should be, this great pro, right?
And Justin Fields beat him head to head.
Supposedly. Now here's the other thing. The part that I think is disrespectful is they're talking about Zach Wilson.
Harold, don't shake your head.
Hold on, they're talking about Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, what's the other buddy name?
Mac, the one from Alabama.
Yeah,
Mac Jones. Like now, all these projected draft things, these dudes are going before Justin Fields. The other thing that I think is kind of funny is the fact that they've talking about Justin Fields like character issues, but they have failed to mention. They haven't mentioned anything. Hold on, they haven't mentioned anything about the DUIs that Mac Jones has had. I think he's had two. They also haven't mentioned anything about Zach Wilson and his character issues. I don't know if you guys saw that little
the sexual misconduct thing.
No, not that, but that's even worse. But
that was Peyton Manning too, by the way. He had a couple of those.
The thing I saw about Wilson was they were saying that he acts entitled, and he's because I guess he comes from like a family that's well off. I think his uncle or somebody owns like JetBlue or something like that. But they were talking about how he's very entitled, how he has this cockiness to him that. And we're not talking about just confidence. We're talking about this.
Like Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, Johnny Manziel was arrogant. So
that's Zach Wilson, but they're not talking about that. They're not talking about it.
I guess with the one.
So the thing I think, hold on, the thing I think is disrespectful is that they're bringing up all this stuff about Justin Fields, but they're not saying nothing. What's his character issues? What character issues?
That's what I've been trying to figure out.
And then, I'm not even concerned about that.
Okay, here's the other side of that, right? Okay, here's the other side of that. Let's negate all. Okay, let me tell you another reason why it's disrespectful as far as his playing ability, right? Zach Wilson. Let's start there since he seems to be like the number 2 guy that's coming off the board.
Didn't he play in San Diego or North Dakota State?
This dude has played against.
BYU.
No, that's Trey.
That's even worse.
He hasn't played anybody.
Oh, wait, I got some stats.
And then last season when he did, I think last season they played against some decent teams. He didn't look good.
They only had 2 decent teams. Hold on, I got his stats because I was about to make this argument anyway.
No. I'm not talking about this season, Tony. I'm talking about the season before last. He played against some decent teams, and he was
garbage.
Good. And then this season, he's played against subpar teams, right?
His best 2 teams he played was 21 Boise State, which they beat, and then they lost to Coastal Carolina. He was playing freaking Navy, Troy, Louisiana Tech. The studs that they've been. Then they had a non-major against North Alabama.
Who? Yeah, so here's my thing.
Hold on, Harold. We ain't done
shit. The only point I was about to make when it comes to quarterback in that position, there have been plenty of quarterbacks that had subpar competition in college, and they get into the NFL and blossom.
Okay,
so for me, I don't. Tony Romo played against crap. I mean, he was.
Tony Romo didn't blossom. Tony Romo didn't blossom in the NFL.
Well, come on, man. Come on. You saying Tony Romo didn't blossom in the NFL?
Wait a minute, Aaron, I got a question.
80% of Tony Romo yards were garbage yards. Harold.
Come on, man.
Wait a minute, Aaron. Can I ask a question? Mute him.
Come on. Wait a minute. You're gonna say Tony Romo's a scrub? Come on, man. Let's be real now. Let's be real.
Wait, you talking about Tony Romo who set the per game touchdown record and per game interception record in the same game? Tony Romo?
Let me ask you something. Upon Tony Romo, would you not start him? Would you say Tony Romo NFL career is a complete wash? But
he's not a barn burner.
I'm not trying to say he's a Hall of Famer.
Did he have a playoff win? Aaron, has he had a playoff win besides the fumble in Seattle?
Who knows?
He like Trent Dilfer would have.
Yeah, how many? How many did he have?
But what I'm saying is, for him to play against Division III talent, he's done a whole lot better than a lot of quarterbacks that have played against good talent.
You're talking about one guy though, Harold.
Wait,
I can name more.
He came from
I can name more. Steve McNair.
You know who Zach Wilson? You know who Zach Wilson reminds me of by numbers?
Who?
Colt Brennan from Hawaii. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, he
played the same kind of talent, but when they met up with a real squad, when they got in front of Georgia drugged their ass like they were King Kong.
But Cole Brennan, I think what round was he drafted in? If anything, was he a free agent pick or was he?
It don't even matter, bro. We talking about Zach Wilson, who might.
We talking about Zach Wilson, who came.
I'm just making a point that a lot of good quarterbacks I played against.
Well, you're asking about the disrespect, and we're telling you why it's disrespectful for them to say these dudes are better than Justin Fields. That's what we're trying to do.
How you gonna say a dude from
Other than Sunshine, I'm not taking nobody before Justin Fields.
They're all out. That's the thing.
And
the jury is out on everybody.
Didn't Ohio State beat Clemson head to head?
So again, how many games did Ohio State play this last season? 5 or 6
It don't
games?
matter.
How many college football playoff games did Ohio State win and Clemson win this past year?
Oh, of course, they beat us.
And we were all mad that Ohio State got in, but they got in, so we can't do anything about it.
When Clemson faced Ohio State the year before, who messed up the entire game for Ohio State? Justin Fields.
And who carried the team this year?
For 5 games. For 5 or 6 games.
It doesn't.
That's not what I asked. That's not what I asked. When they played Clemson this year, who carried Ohio State? Because their running back was out. Their running back was out.
All right.
The running back wasn't out the entire game. He kept coming in and out.
He had a busted collarbone. He was out.
Hey, Tony, you know what?
He was out, homeboy.
Let's move on to another quarterback besides Buddy from BYU.
No, I'm not done.
What about Trey Lance, though?
Dumbass Zach Wilson.
What about Trey Lance, though? Here's the thing. I don't think Trey Lance even played this past year. He played the year before. And this
Did he not play?
I don't think he played at all this year.
He didn't play.
And then he went to North Dakota State, bro. The same place Carson Wentz played at.
I'm not saying Trey Lance is better than Justin Fields. That's not my argument. My argument is
but
that
other people are. That's what we're saying. You can't doubt a guy who's been proven against elite talent.
Again, I'm not saying he's gonna be great, but what I'm saying is he being disrespected? Absolutely. Because again, we talking about a guy in Zach Wilson who hasn't. I mean, this year was his
ain't played nobody.
Didn't play nobody. And then we talking about Trey Lance, who literally played against nobody. Like he wasn't even on the field. Nobody. And then we talking about Mac Jones.
He probably played me in Madden one night.
And we talking about Mac Jones. Mac Jones, who plays with the greatest collective group of talent in all of college football.
I think that other dummy hurt him. That's what I think.
The dude. Bruh, I could have been quarterback for Alabama. Mac
Jones was a second-round talent. Justin Fields is the number 2 rated quarterback behind Sunshine. That's all it is.
But what are they projecting Justin Fields to be right now?
4.
Are they saying he's going to drop
4 or 5? 4 or 5.
4? Are you talking about the 4th quarterback?
No, the 4th or 5th best quarterback.
4th or 5th best quarterback.
Yes, behind all of them. Even Mac Jones has jumped in front of him.
And I don't understand that at all. I don't.
They said only 2 teams going to his pro day. The 49ers
If you look at everybody's resume that's been a quarterback, from Sunshine to Zach to Trey to Justin to Mac Jones, if you look at their resume, Zach Wilson and Trey Lance shit don't hold up.
Don't hold up at all.
At all. I don't care about they played at this school, so they had to play harder. That don't mean shit, because when you play better competition, your game gets better.
My point is this right now, and I'll just be honest. Ohio State with quarterbacks is lousy credibility. And
he's not an Ohio State quarterback. He transferred there. He wasn't recruited by them.
We're looking at when he played. When he got his notoriety, it was with Ohio State. It wasn't with Georgia.
No, he had notoriety when he was here.
He was Georgia. What are you talking about?
Dude, let me tell you something.
Okay,
that was the year. The year he was at Georgia.
When we played LSU, everybody was like, "We need to start Justin Fields against LSU." Everybody, even the LSU players, were saying, "We can't help. We can't wait to see this dude play."
Okay,
everybody was saying it.
So at Georgia in 2018, stats.
He go looking at stats. We talking about his when he was in the game here, because we was calling for Fromm to get benched. From the minute Fields got here, everybody was saying Fromm needs to be benched. Everybody.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is that if we look at total amount of games, because I mean, if you look at his stats at Georgia,
you can't look at his stats. He didn't play.
All right, so look, how can you prove how someone produced?
Because when he came in the game, that offense ran smoothly and he scored touchdowns. When he came in the game,
That's the most important part right now.
Let me tell you something. Everybody and their mama already said if Jake Fromm was not the quarterback and Justin Fields was the quarterback when he was here, we would have had a neck because that team was solid and our weakest position was quarterback, and we had the best guy sitting on the bench.
So I got 2 questions. So,
and the Georgia coach looked dumb right now. I don't even remember his name, but he looked.
That's Kirby Smart. I tell you, no, that's Kirby Smart. No, he didn't get fired.
He feel real dumb. I know he feeling real dumb right now.
He already said he made a mistake. He said he made a mistake.
Last name Smart.
He said, "Yeah, I made a mistake letting him go."
His name should be
and I'm not mad when Justin said he was transferring. I wasn't mad at it. When Justin said I'm transferring, I'm not mad because you know what? Because he wanted to play and he deserved to be the starting quarterback. But Kirby was so set in his ways that he didn't want to see a mobile black quarterback running around behind that big dog offensive line with them 2 stud-ass running backs.
So that was the other question I was just about to ask. Because, of course, I was following Clemson. But whenever that quarterback controversy was going on at the time, what was Kirby's reasoning for sitting?
Because he wanted to stay with the seasoned quarterback. But the problem with that argument that he made, he said, but the problem with that was when Fields got here, when Fromm got here, he wasn't our starting quarterback. He came in because our starter got hurt. So if he wanted to use that, he should have put the starter back in and Fromm should have been back on the bench. Because when Fromm got hurt, Fields came in and lit that shit up. He lit it up.
And then he went back to Fromm. And then
he went back to Fromm. Fromm got drafted after a kicker.
That was the same one that was recruited, right?
I don't even think is Fromm even still. I don't even think he's still in the NFL.
He's not in the NFL. He got drafted in the 4th round after a kicker. A kicker got picked before him.
Who drafted him? I forgot. Was it the Bills or somebody like
that? Nobody. I think it was the Bills.
I think it was the Bills. So,
I can't
he wasn't hilarious.
He's still in the league, though. I think he's still in the league.
He might be a backup, but he ain't gonna never. He not even gonna be a backup. He gonna be a clipboard holder. He don't have skills. He don't have skills. He's not. He has Justin Fields.
I am very curious to see how Justin Fields is going to perform. I'm just saying Ohio State has
he's a backup. He's a backup for the Bills.
Yeah.
He's on the Bills.
I'm dying to see how Justin Fields
going. He got a 4-year deal.
As long as what's the name is playing real well, he ain't gonna never get
Josh Allen.
Yeah, as long as Josh Allen playing well,
he ain't never.
Zach Wilson.
He might as well hang that up.
Hey, Zach Wilson is this year's Josh Rosen. I'm saying
I'm calling him Mitch Trubisky. That's what I'm calling him.
Ooh, really? I think Josh Rosen.
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be Mac Jones.
I think Mac Jones is Sam Darnold. I think Mac Jones is Sam Darnold.
That's who I think Mac Jones is too. But no, I'm saying Mr. Trubisky because I think their skill set is similar. Because Zach Wilson, he'll run a little bit.
Yeah.
But it ain't. I mean, I don't know who Trey Lance is.
I'm not impressed with none of them boys. Outside of Fields, I'm not impressed with nobody else in that position.
I'm telling you, the only two quarterbacks I would consider.
You got Fields over Lawrence. AT.
Man, you know what, Lawrence, man.
It depends on the team.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Depends on the team.
It depends.
Here's my bias. Here's my bias, Harold. Here's my whole bias. The media has kissed Trevor Lawrence ass so much as he got in college. I'm over him. I don't know if the dude is overhyped or he really got the skills.
Well, we're gonna find out when he gets to Jacksonville.
The college program.
He beat Sunshine at the Helm. We beat y'all with Sunshine at the Helm.
Yeah.
Hey, no, we don't want that.
I'm not.
Y'all beat us because our cornerback.
Let me see what he does. Let me see what he does. If he can win 6 games in Jacksonville, I'll take him serious.
I'm almost certain that was Trevor Lawrence that got dragged by LSU.
First of all, LSU dragged our cornerbacks. Y'all ain't dragged Trevor. Trevor did good. It was just.
But y'all lost still, right?
Y'all lost, right?
Who plays with the Falcons?
Who won the game?
Beat.
First of all, if you go to come with AJ Terrell talking about he got beat, you better understand who he was going against that beat him.
Man,
don't just say it was any wide receiver. It's the best wide receiver in the game that year, and that guy didn't even play this year, and he's still going in top 5. So you're not. So what kind of argument are you making if you're talking about the best guy who ain't played in a year, still a top 5 receiver?
I'm just saying AJ Terrell got beat 3 times that entire game.
3 times, and he also made 4 stops that everybody just keeps forgetting about. He didn't get burnt every single time. He still made defensive plays. Jamar Chase is just that much better than everybody on the field.
I mean, he made
I want to go back to the LSU game though. Trevor didn't have no touchdowns that game.
He did not.
Come on, yes, he did.
No, he did.
Trevor,
he didn't. I just looked it up because I remember thinking to myself, I thought he was overhyped.
He got shut down.
How many?
Trevor Lawrence did rush for a touchdown.
18 out of 37.
He rushed. He did not throw. He was 18
quarterback.
200 and some odd yards.
He quarterback.
No happy endings that game, Harold. No happy endings that
Come
game.
on. Stop it, AC.
I'm just saying, I agree with Adrian. I feel like they latched on that kid and he just became the sunshine media child. And I just got tired of it because it was like, oh my God, who the hell is going to play?
Look, as far as I'm concerned, anytime it's a white boy they can put out in front of the cameras and, hey, he half-ass good. I mean, when Carson Wentz came to Philadelphia, had that one beginning of a good season. Oh, Carson Wentz, he's the future. He's this, he's that. That some bitch tore his leg up. He ain't been shit since. But as long as they got somebody they can put in front of the camera and make them look good, you can take the camera out these black-ass dudes, they gonna do it. Trevor Lawrence was that boy. They did Trevor Lawrence the same way they did Tim Tebow when he was in Florida.
Do any of y'all think it's a possibility that Fields is getting disrespected because of bullshit Haskins pulled last year?
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yep.
I really think that people are even though Fields did come from Georgia, a lot of people might not be seeing that. They're seeing both of them came from the same program. Haskins came out acting an ass, and now here comes the kid that was right behind him. Maybe we should wait.
I'm thinking about all the Ohio State quarterbacks that have come before in somewhat similar systems, and they get in the NFL and they flop. That's exactly. I'll just be honest. That's what's on my mind.
That's coaching though. That's not necessarily a quarterback issue. That's a coaching issue.
I think he set a little of them up for failure because he had one of them Ohio State kids. He was 3rd or 4th quarterback on our team for about 4 years. And I feel like if you can't learn under Breeze and Sean Payton, you just can't play.
Right. Because think about it for a second, because you have that same issue with Coach K and the Duke players. When they get to the NBA, when you get to the NBA,
you're right.
What do? They fall out, with the exception of Kyrie and maybe Shane Battier and a few other people like
Elton Brand. He might be an exception.
No, he fell off too.
He was alright. He was alright for a long time though.
He was alright in the Clippers. He did pretty good on it for a minute.
No, Elton Brand was alright, man. He was alright for a while.
Elton Brand was alright.
Look, Cherokee Parks. Your boy, what's name with the L? Leitner. Bobby Hurley couldn't ride his motorcycle and shit.
Christian Leitner.
I got a whole 30 for 30 name at his punk ass.
First of all, don't disrespect the greatest freshman on the Dream Team. Don't disrespect the greatest freshman on the Dream Team ever.
I forgot totally about Cherokee Parks. Oh my God.
Hey, what about here's a name for you? What about Trajan Langdon?
Oh,
Alaskan assassin. Where's that guy?
Yeah. But that's what I say. That's that coaching issue. When if the transition, when you transition to the next level, the coach that you had before the transition is supposed to prepare you to transition to the next level. And Urban Meyer ain't done that. Urban Meyer ain't did that with nobody. I mean, if you think about all the Ohio State players and all the Florida players, when they get to the end, with the exception of a few, when they get to the NFL, what do?
It's that 1 out of 50 again.
For any player, you have to be coachable. And even if you had a bad coaching experience coming in college, in NFL period, you have to be coachable and willing to receive knowledge that you did not have. Right. And all I'm simply saying is with Ohio State QBs, man, the train has not gotten on the track ever. I have no other reason to
Urban Meyer is a college Adam Gase. I said what
You
I
know
said.
what?
Yeah.
Right there.
That's a
I
good
said what
Right
one.
there. I take that.
That sums it up right there.
Say it again. I
Yeah,
missed
that's
that.
it.
Urban Meyer is the college Adam Gase. Adam Gase,
Adam
however,
Gase.
however the hell you say his name.
That's how you say it.
Mm.
Yeah.
That is a
Well, I
great
think
point.
that's
Well, he's at Jacksonville now.
You can end it right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Jacksonville.
you know, like I mean, but he has. I mean, both of them are at Jacksonville, ain't they? Ain't both of them at Jacksonville now?
They about to be.
Well, you know, well, we don't have to.
So all
win.
right, let's do this. Okay, so all right, so everybody here, let's do this. Who's gonna have a better career? Out of the top 5 quarterbacks, who's gonna have a better career?
That's hard to say to me because sometimes the top 5, they're only top 5 based off of a bunch of blowhards and hotheads that don't really know what the hell they're talking about. Before Sean drafted, before
who's
Sean
gonna drop out the league first? Who's gonna drop out the league
Mac
first?
Jones.
Out the
Mac
league
Jones
first?
going on first.
Nah, it's
Jones.
gonna
Mac
be
Jones.
Mac Jones, they got him projected to go to the Dolphins, so I would have to say probably.
Nah,
him.
it's gonna be Zach Wilson, dog. Zach Wilson gonna be the first one. Zach Wilson.
One
I
man
feel
got
like-
he ain't got nothing to Zach Wilson.
Whoever going to New York.
I feel like for the listeners should make a guess at this and email us or something and let us know. And if you're right, maybe we'll get you something.
Yeah, you
I
got
ain't going with no dude. No dude
you got
that spell his
Sunshine,
name
you got
M-A-C.
Sunshine, you
Any
got
dude
Zach,
that name his
you got
name Mac.
Mac.
I ain't going with that.
I think Sunshine's in the
Mac.
most trouble though because
Oh,
the
he gonna
Jaguars,
struggle.
Because of where he's
no
going.
leadership. He's got
Yeah.
No team.
got nothing. He's nothing.
He got
They
no
got rid of every good thing they had. They pretty much got rid of, and now they're bringing him to this black hole. And I think it's just gonna suck the life out of him. I really don't think.
David Carr
Who's the
2.0.
Unfortunately,
I know they fired Tom Coughlin. I don't know who the GM is now.
because unfortunately where he's going, man, it's
Well,
just.
I don't really think Tom Coughlin is a bad GM. I think people,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
people got to want to play for you. People got to want to play for you.
Man, fuck
Who wants to play for you? Who wants to play for
Wait a minute.
Nigga,
AC?
Wait a minute,
Would you
Aaron,
want to play for the
AC,
Jaguars?
I
You want
didn't
to
know
play
why
for the
AC.
Jaguars?
I didn't know why AC hates Tom Coughlin. I didn't know this.
Let me tell you why I hate this so
Hold on, no, wait a
Tom
minute. So if AC, hold on, Tony, AC. If you want to start running back in the league and Tom Coughlin came to you and said, "We want you to play for the Jaguars," are you going to go? If you got the option to go to say maybe
I'm
Tennessee,
not playing for Tom Coughlin fucking. That's so bitch is a franchise ruiner.
That's why I
Look,
didn't know
he
what's going on
He
here.
didn't do shit in Jacksonville the first time. You went to the Giants. You let Eli play 5 years too long. Y'all ain't draft no quarterback. You let that team go to shit.
well, I mean, he
Then
got
you
2
left
Super
town.
Bowls.
Man, you never drafted a backup for the Giants. The Giants ain't shit now.
No, they had the fat
held
dude. They had the fat dude as a backup.
Jerry
The one from
Lorenzo.
Kentucky.
Jared
Yeah,
Lorenzo.
yeah.
I rest my case.
They've had
He
several
passed-
guys
but he
that
passed
couldn't
away.
Jared Lorenzo.
take over a game. They had several people there that couldn't take over a game.
You
He
made,
look like
you
an
made my
offensive
point
lineman now.
for me. And
I
then
think
we
he's
gonna
dead.
say-
Oh man, he's dead.
I think he
He's
died.
dead, man. He's
died.
dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's
And then
dead.
Coughlin went to Jacksonville again. He got a second invite to come back and be the GM. And what did he accomplish? Nothing.
I think there's
Yeah.
something else going. I think there's something else going on with the Jags though. That the
Jacksonville.
reason they can't.
It's Jacksonville.
Play in Jacksonville.
Well, I've never been to Jacksonville, so I don't know. But
Yeah, it's
their,
yeah,
GM, their GM is the guy that was in Trent Balk or Balky. I don't know how he pronounces it, but that's who their GM is. His name sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know where I heard
Well,
it.
like-
But that's I agree with you. I think something else is going on with Jacksonville. I'm
Yeah,
not trying to
that's-
say
I
it's
just-
wrong.
Agreed.
I feel bad for. I feel like number one draft picks should be able to pick where they go because you set these kids up for failure going to some of these places, like out the door.
You can be like Elway. Be like Elway.
Quit trying to put these boys. Quit
You can
trying
be like
to put
Phillip
these
Rivers.
boys on the field in their first season. These
That
boys are
right
not
there.
ready. Most of them,
Yeah,
look.
that.
Let me tell you
That
something.
is-
The one guy I think got the
But see, when they
shell.
changed their pay scale, now they have
RG3. RG3 got the shell.
Oh
RG3
yeah,
should have
yeah, he
been
did.
mad.
Yeah, he
RG3
did.
That
was
brother got
also
done wrong.
He also is stupid because
He
McNabb
was
tried to
stupid.
warn him about what was going on, and he
Yeah.
blew
He was stupid.
McNabb off and made it seem like, oh, he's just bitter and blah 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 blah. And then when they got rid of McNabb and the shit fell on him, he started to realize perhaps I should have listened to that elder.
Yeah,
Black
but
man.
McNabb was
Well,
better,
you know
though.
that.
McNabb
But
was
you know
better.
what?
McNabb
But you know
was
what?
better.
The thing with
Big
RG3,
McNabb
He
was
stayed in the
better.
division.
the thing with RG3, because him and my brother played AAU basketball together, and when he had his draft, we went to his draft party, that we were at his draft party, and there was people at his draft party trying to tell him that then, and he wasn't really to listen. He wasn't willing to listen.
And now he's
So-
unemployed.
Oh, you
No,
that
with a
white
limp.
woman.
Baylor got a nice football stadium though.
You talking about RG3? He's
Hey,
not unemployed. He the backup for the
Yeah,
Baltimore
he the
Ravens.
backup for the
Is
Ravens.
he still there? I thought they let him
I
go.
thought they let him
Nah,
go.
No, he was
still
there
there.
last year.
He's still
He was
there.
there last year. Yeah.
Nah,
I just
yeah,
saw
yeah,
Haskins.
Yeah.
He's still there.
Adrian, I just saw Haskins as y'all backup.
Yeah, they said, yeah. I mean, we still look. We re-signed Big Ben, so what the hell? Which is worse?
Yeah.
Man,
Haskins was
Tomlin-
bringing Big Ben.
Tomlin-
We got-
that boy
we got-
right. Tomlin
We got
got
another. We got another topic. I'm just curious. Do we have another topic? I'm tired of talking about these quarterbacks,
So
man.
last but not least, AC. I want to let AC talk about the University of North Carolina.
Hey, hold on.
Hey, hold on. RG3 ain't in the league no more. He got released.
Yeah,
got
see, I
released?
thought so.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Oh.
he got released last year.
When do we? Hold on.
Yeah.
We didn't even talk
No,
about
no,
the
no.
January,
talk about
but
the
the last season.
January.
Hey,
Yeah,
hold
we
on.
gotta
Yeah,
talk about
January.
the Masters. We gotta,
No, we don't.
We got at least
Yeah.
shout out
These
Hideki
guys want
Matsuyama.
leaving. I don't know what else.
I thought we talked about sports.
Nah, bro.
We gotta
Golf
get
was
that.
amazing.
I got
We gotta
bored.
get that. We gotta get that man some love.
He got to get a shout out, bro.
I'll give him the love. He got the shout out, I liked what his caddy did. I saw that on the news today.
Listen,
What
bro.
does Caddy do?
I'm not gonna lie.
He did the Japanese bow towards the Masters because it was his first time getting a big win. That's what Hideki said. It was like his first time getting a big win like that.
It might be his first major.
He's
But
from
yeah, that's-
Japan.
I mean,
he's from
shout out.
He's from
Japan.
Japan. So if he sends me a RB26, I'll give him a whole hour show.
Hey,
Look, man, check it out. We gotta give Hideki Matsuyama his shout out though, bro. He's the first Japanese player to win
You
the
said
Masters.
his name. Hey, shout out to him because I mean I saw some clips from it, and even the Japanese announcer was pissed off when his first shot went in the water. Those folks were upset. I ain't know what the hell
Hey,
they
man.
were saying, but the way they were saying it,
Man, I'm not gonna front though. I'm not gonna front. I didn't watch. I mean, partially because I was real busy this weekend with all these AAU basketball games my daughter doing. But I didn't watch a lot of it, man. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that I knew I wasn't gonna see Tiger, though. I ain't gonna front. Like,
Right,
I knew I wasn't
I
gonna
told
see
them when
Tiger.
we started, I didn't even know the Masters was this week.
Yeah,
I didn't watch it because I don't like golf.
I mean,
yeah.
I knew it
Tony
was
a
on,
hater.
and like I said, I was busy most
Damn
of the
right,
weekend.
100%.
But it's not the same, man. It's not the same. I mean, I hope. I know it's a
You know
long
what?
shot, but I'm hoping old Tiger can get back into it and
Fuck Tiger.
at least be present.
I'm
you know what I'm saying?
I'm just mad.
Look.
Just mad. No other black folks decided to follow Tiger Woods and start trying to play professionally.
Well, first of
You
all,
know,
when
man,
Tiger
like-
said he wasn't black, that made all of them say "fuck it."
Yeah, pretty much.
You don't know
Well,
what
speaking of
turned me
not
off.
black-
Let me tell you what turned me off of golf. Let me tell you what turned me
snap.
off of golf. Oh hell yeah!
Oh boy.
And why I'm gonna say it's not a sport. When I saw John Daly fat ass eating a cheeseburger and smoking a cigarette, walking to the holes, that right there, I was done. Yeah, he did.
Because
bruh,
He did. He
a-
fucked that. He was
because
eating a
there's a-
cheeseburger, dude, and
What's
smoking
wrong
a
with that?
cigarette.
Hey, that's John.
While
Hey,
he was
bro,
It's
Fuck that.
boxers that
I'm
smoke
gonna tell you
cigarettes in
about-
the ring.
not during the match. he was during the match. That motherfucker was
Nah,
he
bro.
literally he was putting a cigarette in his mouth
Yeah.
and then
Hey man, he was struggling. He was struggling with his alcohol addiction, man.
I don't care.
John
I
Daly.
don't
Let me tell you
care.
about John Daly.
That shit
real
was
quick, man.
hilarious.
No,
Fuck
John
that.
Daly. John Daly
That
is
dude
probably
awesome.
one of the. Here's the funny thing, bro. John Daly is like a dude who roll out of bed and go play golf, right? John Daly don't
Yeah.
put no practice in.
I can
No.
see that.
John Daly, but he's still a crazy golf. And my thing is, I don't want to say he's a waste of talent, but he kind of was because
He
the
is.
dude is,
He is.
he is so good, bro. And he doesn't put in any work, bro. This dude wakes up, like you said, eats a cheeseburger while he's walking the course, and he puts in no work, and he's still a professional golfer,
Yeah,
which is
just like-
crazy.
Hey,
Oh,
watch the
speaking of-
30. You got to watch that 30 for 30 with him, though. That 30 for 30.
They have a 30 30 on here, I might watch it because that fucker is
that
hilarious.
That shit hilarious, bro. John Daly don't give a shit.
John Daly is Chris Farley. John Daly is Chris Farley if he took up golf. I said,
and gave up coke.
Bruh, some of the OGs, man, like Miguel, what's his name? Miguel Angel Jimenez. This cat be out there walking around with his Stokey the whole time, smoking a cigarette while he playing.
Yeah, but he ain't in a Big Mac though.
John Daly had a whole cheeseburger and a bottle of ketchup in his pocket.
That was like this.
John Daly a rock star, dog. He like the rock star of the golf world.
Okay,
he got a whole song. But speaking of Tiger not being black, I want to talk about Hubert Davis right quick.
Oh God!
Here's what he said. He said my wife made the potato salad. By the way, I said what?
I've been waiting on this. I've been waiting on this because I know AC.
Hey Harold, this is how you spell his name, Harold. That right there. Hey, it ain't P's and this ain't Mississippi. He said, "Who put? Who put?
Get on my goddamn nerves. Sorry, y'all.
Look at him, man. Hold on, man. Look at him.
Like he in the episode of Get Out.
Come here. I want to AC talk about the coach and his wife making the potato salad. I want to.
She put raisins in.
I'm a Tar Heels fan. You know what I'm saying? I was the only one in my school when the Fab Five played them. I was the only one taking bets on North Carolina to win the damn tournament. I've been with Carolina. Hey, I've been with Carolina a long time. So when Roy retired, and then I think on First Take they announced that Hubert Davis was gonna get the job. I was excited. I said, you know what, man? I like Carolina, bringing in a former Tar Heel, and then they got some color to him. I said, this is a good day for
just a little bit.
It looked good. I was excited. 24 hours later, and 38 minutes into the damn interview, Hubert Davis was 5 minutes away from making a forgettable press conference that would have been safe and vanilla, no pun intended. All he had to do was just say good night and God bless and get his black ass off the stage. He would have been off. But Hubert being who he was, a Negro
and I love
named
him
Hubert,
for it. I love him for it.
the Negro say he proud of his white wife. I went from grand opening to grand. Look, I was wondering if it was too late to rescind the job offer for that dude at that moment. And I told a friend of mine, I was like, man, you know what? I say Hubert ass got up there talking like his ass, he a junior. He got to be a junior. Only a Negro named Hubert Jr. would say something like that on TV. I was being funny. I went to Wikipedia. His ass is a junior. Some old slavery ass name. Hubert slavery name Davis Jr. I was done. I'm like, this cat proud of his white wife. They asked him what it was like to be a black coach. He kept saying African American, like he wouldn't do shit right. But then when he said he proud of the white wife and the potato salad shit, I was like, we can go ahead and hire somebody white. Get rid of I mean, I ain't been that disappointed.
But
look, I ain't been that disappointed, man, since my granddaddy didn't get my go-kart when I was
What if her potato salad is actually banging though?
Not with raisins. Not with raisins.
Did it have raisins in it? Did they say
she
that?
put raisins in it?
Wait a minute.
She probably put raisins.
He said
she put raisins and them small ass tangerine slices in there. I know she do. I know she do.
No, we can't. No.
I know she do.
Hubert, you need
that actually makes me kind of sad because the only potato salad I ever ate was my dad's, and now he's not here. Like, I know how to make it, but I don't know if it's going to be the same. Like I know what he did to make it, man. But that's the only potato salad I ever ate. I never ate anybody else.
We don't eat their potato salad.
No, listen, bro.
I don't think I've never eaten.
According to where I'm from, everybody where I'm from said my mom make great potato salad. I don't eat that shit, dog. I don't care who make it. So y'all can have it.
I just want y'all to know.
My daddy only made it. My dad only made it when he made catfish. That's the only time he made it.
You don't eat potato salad, Chris?
Nope.
Y'all
Wait,
some freak. Yeah,
I
thank
don't know
you.
why you. I don't know what. I don't know. Wait, how you don't eat potato salad? Like, what is it?
Well, he ain't black, so he ain't black.
I want y'all to
So
understand my point. Though. I want y'all to look.
Oh shit, his video's finally back.
you had to put him. You had to put him in timeout.
Hey, he put me in time out.
Potato salad.
My man,
Hey, I don't
look,
eat deviled eggs.
But you know
Go
what,
ahead.
Chris? Because
Wait,
I'm
you
still
don't eat
mad.
deviled eggs?
I'm still mad.
Nope.
I'm still mad that Harold put his ribs in the oven. So
Oh,
We not arguing about that no more.
Yes, we are.
Put
Because
Vanessa
whatever
with
is put Vanessa in there too. There you go.
hey, in conclusion on my point. In conclusion on
I'm
my
making a
point.
public announcement now.
all
If
I'ma
you cook
say
your
is-
ribs in the oven, you might as well just leave. Just go away. Go
I
to
did not
Clemson
have,
and get your dabo.
Like I said,
Yes,
I got
I had-
men older than you that would put you in a corner behind telling me that behind ribs I made when I was in Korea.
Nobody
I don't know
puts
how to
me in
use
the
your
car.
grill.
It's easy.
Had to
I've
do
never
it.
used them before. My brother is supposed. My brother said he's going to show me.
You
We're
better
trying
not use. You better not use propane.
No, I have a charcoal grill.
That's all right.
I was gonna get a propane grill
No,
because I
you
thought it
better
would be
not.
easier for me to
Don't.
learn. But I don't
Don't.
want to buy another grill, and I've got one in the garage. It's stupid.
Don't do a propane.
get you a chimney starter.
I'll
Yeah.
take a picture of the one that's in the garage right now that me and Daddy got when.
As
Don't
long
use
as
no
it's got a
don't
base
use no
to it,
lighter fluid. Don't use no
Man,
lighter fluid. Get
Man,
you a
you know
chimney
we some
starter.
Negroes, man. We transition to sports to grilling food and all that
Everything.
stuff.
Why not light no? See, somebody got to stick around after the show. Why not lighter
Lord
fluid?
have mercy.
because
just
it
wanna
adds
say-
bad taste to the food.
Yeah, it adds
Yeah,
taste.
light fluid to kill you.
All right.
Again, I don't know how to grill.
So,
Like I use wood.
That's why we
for
know
our
why you're
listeners,
cooking your
for
ribs
our
in the oven
listeners,
right now.
if you go to our website, which is rusthbm.net, we have a schedule of the next big upcoming sporting events. If you go to our website, please check it out. So yes, I listed them all out. It is draft, and then you got the NBA Finals, which is next, and then
Hey,
also
when we doing our draft show?
we're going to do it the night of the draft, which is on Thursday. That
So
will
wait,
be,
you
This
want me
coming
to?
Thursday?
Why would I
No.
be on here when I'm trying to watch the draft? No, I'm talking about when we drafting
No,
our
you can't-
team.
You can't. Oh, you mean the pre-draft draft?
That's what
I know what you meant.
What
I
are
know
you
what you-
talking about? Why would we
I thought you were talking about the live
stream?
show. I thought that's what you were talking about. I didn't know what you were talking about at first.
We're gonna live stream on draft day.
Why not? Why can't we? You do it for the.
We recording this
You
thing?
can do it. Like I'm gonna
I
have
might
to.
have a DJ gig. I might not be available.
Well, just let me know, sir.
Yeah. Let me go on the record and say this is not a good idea. Like Hubert, Aaron Davis Jr. and
Good idea at all.
he brought his white wave.
Anyway, look, check out our website. Please.
Is that how y'all
And
do it in
then,
Clemson?
Also, if you have any emails,
Nah, we know. Nah, we know how they do it in Clemson.
please email us at the podcast group LLC at outlook.com. Thank you very much.
Wax on, wax off.
Y'all can kiss my ass about
Hey,
that.
get
Hey, shout out to Julian
get your
Edelman on his retirement.
Get your massages. Oh yeah. He shout out to Julian Edelman. He did retire. He was a good player.
Oh yeah.
Solid.
Yo,
Gino
solid
Fern
fan.
about a Hall of
I'm a
Famer.
Pats fan. He's not a Hall of Famer though. He's not. A
Yeah,
Hall
he is a Hall of Famer. He's gonna be like
He is a Hall of
seventh
Famer.
ballot.
He is
Seventh
not.
ballot.
He is
Seventh
not.
ballot.
Listen, bro.
If Lynn Swan is in there, Junior Element will be in there.
Hines Ward can't get in the Hall of Fame. You
I
think
think Hines Ward should be in the Hall of Fame, by the way.
Yeah, he
Hines
should.
Ward should definitely be in the Hall of Fame.
Hines
Ward should
Ward's
be.
numbers like triple and double whatever Julian Edelman
The only man I ever saw dislocate somebody's jaw. Didn't he do something like that?
Yeah,
My
he
man.
did. Running somebody
I'm
else.
gonna give y'all another one who should belong. Anquan Bolden. Sam Line.
I think you lying. But
I think you
Anquan
lying
Bolden
too.
belongs in the Hall of Fame.
hey, dog, real
he
quick.
was-
Can we
he
take out
good.
Troy Aikman?
He was good. I wouldn't say he belongs in the Hall of
Yeah,
Fame.
you had no sense to leave Arizona.
This is Hines Ward compared to Julian Edelman. Hines Ward 1,000 catches. Julian Edelman 620. Hines yards 12,000 and some change. Julian 6,800.
6,000.
Edelman will get in off the strength of him being one of
Touchdown.
Brady's go-tos.
Touchdowns.
Yeah.
Hines 85. Julian 36. Super Bowl MVPs 1 apiece. Pro Bowls 4 for Hines Ward, 0 for Julian Edelman.
Edelman going off of Tom Brady coattails though. That's how it's gonna happen.
It ain't gonna
All right, y'all.
He ain't getting in, though.
All right, y'all. Y'all have a good night. We will see y'all next week.
Peace.
We are out. See y'all.
Look.
Peace.
For now.
Peace.
Look,
Dabo.
Dabo!
Here we go.